Alright, friends and fellow gamers, welcome back to Adventure with Roger. Today I'm going to be taking you into a game called Rise Online. Before I do that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I have all kinds of gaming content just at your fingertips. Check out my channel. Look forward to seeing you there. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. So here we have the English translation. I believe this game is being developed in Turkey. Their website has Turkey and English translation. So it says, New Age, fight for your kingdom, fight for your people. We are in alpha right now, so I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of criticism on the game, just more of like a pros and cons of what I see on the game right now. It's not going to be like super harsh or anything like that because it's obviously in development. We have PvP in the game. This is something that I haven't seen yet though, but is being developed. We're going to be mostly covering PvE and the things that I've seen so far in the game. It says change your game style. So there are 4 different classes in the game, and each class has a few different skill trees to choose from, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Unique bosses. I've seen some of these bosses in the world, but unfortunately I haven't been in any groups or anything that would be strong enough to take them down, as they seem pretty powerful or have basically way too much health regen to be able to take one down at this time. So there are pets in the game, and the pets allow you to loot. They basically pick up your loot for you, which is something that's really cool that we've become accustomed to. If you ever played something like Black Desert Online, you can have pets that loot for you, and there are mounts in the game, and they've basically just been giving us all this stuff for free to use it. There's no kind of pay to win system or cash system in the game just yet. If you want a mount, you can basically just get 1 gold and pay for it, and they give you 50,000 gold when you first start off the game. So you can basically buy every mount, every pet, and every costume that's currently in the game when you're level 1. So they're not really trying to take advantage of anyone. They're legitimately just wanting us to try out their alpha. And then they have a storyline tab right here. Now unfortunately I haven't, except for the quest lines, I haven't really seen a story at all. It's basically a bunch of kill quests at this point in the game. So let's go ahead and close this out here and just start to take a look at what we got going on, shall we? So we have right here the warrior class, which I have raised to level 34. And if I go down here to the skills, as you can see, there's 5 different skill windows for the warrior. And right off the bat, I get smash, sprint, sword strike, sweep, and defense boost under trainer. And then attack and defense are the other 2 skill lines that I have access to in this early alpha. And then knight and mastery, I can't actually add points to those yet. So actually it kind of stinks too, because mastery has really cool stuff in it that seems like it's pretty powerful. Now, one of the things that's strange about this game so far that I've noticed is that some of the skills don't exactly do what they tell you they're going to do. And so, like these passive ones, I don't really have a way to test those at the moment. But for instance, I have a bunch of lichen right here, and I have this ability on my hotbar called Defensive Boost. Now, it says increase 100 physical defense for 20 seconds, and it's a 60-second cooldown. So if I come over here to my character info, and this says it increases 100 physical defense. Well, I look down here on my physical defense right now, and it's at 291. If I click on this, it goes to 241. So it only gave me 50 physical defense points, right? And then if I put on this shield and this spear, it raises it up to 443. Now I'm just going to wait for this cooldown to wear off for another 35 seconds, and I'll show you again what it does. And then this sword strike ability says it deals 125% damage to the target. So if I go up here and I start whacking on this lichen, you can see on my bar right here, I hit him for 160, 162, 141, 154. So if I come over here and I hit sword strike, I did 175. I did 60. Well, he died. So you can see right there, the sword strike increased my damage by maybe 10 points. So if I'm hitting him for 160, 162, then there was a 141, 154, It just keeps going up and down, minus 10, 162, and then I use the sword strike and it hits him for 175. So if it says it deals 125% more damage. Shouldn't this number be whatever this is times 2 at least? So that would be like, what, 324 plus another 5%, somewhere around 340 damage instead of just 10 more damage basically, or 13 more damage. So a lot of the skills just make no sense whatsoever. This one says it does 100% base attack plus 20 additional damage, and all I notice is that it does 20 additional damage when I use sweep. It literally just forgets about the 100% base attack damage, and I'll go ahead and prove that to you right now too. So we got a 161, a 143, the 159. I use it and it does 173, and then it goes back down to the 140s. So we'll use it again. It does 179 right there. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if it's supposed to do 125% damage to the target, it's basically additional, right? Because if it's not, then it's completely pointless. Like, why even put it in the game if it just does the 25% additional damage? You know what I'm saying? Or why even put the 100% of base attack damage plus on that one? So this one, guys, and another thing is kind of funny, is when you open up the skills window and you go to the skills that I'm using right here under trainer, these skills are basically like level 3 and a level 5 skill and a level 7 skill, right? And this one takes 5 mana, this one takes 4 mana, and this one takes 4 mana, right? They basically, let me just show you real quick here in under attack where I have 34 points in to unlock all these skills right here. Slaughter right here. So this one does more damage than the level 4 and the level 5 skill, but it's a level 28 skill. So this one says it deals 200% true damage, skill level 28, but it takes 100 mana to use it. So 200% true damage, guys. You would think that this would be just a lot more damage than this level 3 and level 5 skill, right? Because it's level 28 basically. It should just be in like a huge amount more damage. So let me show you guys. I'm just going to target this guy. I'm going to use Slaughter. It did 287 damage. Now I'm just auto attacking. We did a 311 and then a 303. So that one almost does what it says it's going to do. It says it does 200% true damage. Now I have no idea what they're basing the true damage off of. If it's just you're going to do 200 damage and it's going to be true damage. I don't know if that's what it means exactly because it says 200%. I don't know what the 200% is based off of or if it's working properly or not. But to me, if I'm doing 155 damage, it should multiply the 200%, you know what I'm saying? And then it should do it as true damage, so he shouldn't be able to deflect or any of the damage, and I'm not sure that's working properly either. And then I have another ability here called Maim, which is, you know, 150% damage and chance to slow down your enemy. Now all of these skills basically work the same way except for the true damage one. All of these skills work basically the same way as this level 3 skill and this level 5 skill, where you can't really notice any kind of a difference whatsoever in the amount of damage that they're doing. And then let me show you one other thing. I got a Bardiche here. One cool thing about the game is like the Bardiche I'm doing, you know, this isn't a very powerful one, but the attack animation did change. So when I use my skills, it looks quite different than the other spear that I was using. And then there's a two-handed hammer in the game that has a really cool lightning effect to it. The attack animation on this is very similar to the Bardiche that I was using. Here's like a two-handed sword. I'm just curious to see what this attack animation looks like because I haven't really used this sword yet. Okay, so that's different even still than the other two-handed weapons. So that's kind of cool. And then I have a one-handed sword here with a shield, which has another different attack animation as well. I haven't noticed the shield actually block anything, and this is the most powerful shield I've found in the game so far. I do notice that it raises my defense bonus quite a bit, but I don't notice it block anything ever. So Dory, when I come down here for this drop down menu on the top of the screen on the right side here, I'm on Dorian 9. There is a Dorian 1 where basically that's where people go to town basically to sell a lot more stuff. You'll find a larger population of people on Dorian 1, but there's a huge problem right now with getting disconnected from the game very easily for just absolutely no reason whatsoever. So I'm kind of hanging out on Dorian 9, Dorian 10 so that I experience less disconnections. So my physical defense right now is 443, okay? I'm gonna go up and whack this guy once, get him to attack me. Okay. Is he? Yeah, here he comes. Okay, so I take 19, 20 damage, 10 damage, right? 16 damage. He's not doing a lot of damage to me because I have pretty high defense. So now I'm going to use this defense boost skill, which says it increases 100 physical defense for 20 seconds. So I'm going to hit the ability. He actually did more damage to me after I used the ability. It's still on right now for another 7 seconds. So he did 22, 15, 17, 16, and now it ran out, and he did 16, 17, and there's a 28 damage. So that ability that gave me like a defense boost for 20 seconds did absolutely nothing. It doesn't work at all, period. So I don't know if they know about this or not. I hope they watch this video and they figure that out. It's basically completely pointless. There's it doesn't work. I don't know if they, obviously it's not working properly. I don't know if they intended it to work that way. It's kind of lame for sure. So I hope they notice that and they fix it. Let me bust out a mount here and we'll go ride around a little bit and I'll show you guys around just a little bit. So this is just kind of the Lycan area. They have a quest for these guys and a pickup quest as well as a kill quest for every single mob that's out here. So here's trolls, and then there's some troll chieftains down here that look quite different, I guess. Not completely different, but a little different. There's the chieftains. This is just one area of the game. There's 3 or 4 different areas right now. And like I said, it's still in pretty early alpha, so in order to visit some of those areas, sometimes it loads through properly, sometimes it doesn't, and you get disconnected quite often. Trying to go from one area to another. But right now at this time of the night, there's almost hardly anyone on, and it's basically 5 a.m. for me, so this is a good time to log in and test some stuff out because there's almost no one on. So this is like a whole little graveyard area right here. From what I understand and what I've seen so far in the game, there are no aggressive mobs yet, so you don't have to worry about getting killed. However, if someone came in here and hit these guys and then ran away and all these monsters followed him out of here, they would then turn around, walk back in here and kill me because they're aggroed. So there is like a training effect. It's happened to me several times while I was trying to farm some of these zombies here in the graveyard, where some mage or something would come in here, hit a bunch of them and start to die, and then he would run off out here, and then they would follow him for a little bit. They would turn around, run back into the graveyard and kill everyone that he aggroed. The zombies, all the ones that he aggroed, would aggro on somebody else. So there is like a weird like aggro dub training effect in the game, which is pretty funny. Let's try to go to town here and talk about some stuff. Okay, so there is an instant teleport mechanism in the game that takes you into town. It's very beautiful. I really like it. It's really pretty. There's a bank and it's a teleport device. This shop right here in the middle is the one that gives you all the armor and pets and stuff like that at the moment. And these little summon things right here are what let you pull those out. You actually have to buy these for 1 gold each. Like I said, they give you 50,000 gold when you start the game, so you can basically buy as many of these as you want. And then they have these cool little things you can equip to make your hands glow different colors. So I got the red ones equipped right now, which is pretty cool. And then I can show you there's another little tab right here in the inventory that switches you between your normal gear and your costume gear. So I can actually just take this off and show you what my character looks like without it, basically. So that's kind of a cool feature. And then that's what questing looks like.
What's your story?
You have a basically, if I was to accept this, it goes away. And then if I talk to him again, I can click on the quest I accepted and hit give up to get rid of the quest. Instead of deleting it from your quest log, you have to re-talk to the NPC and have it deleted that way by giving up on it. And then there's a sprint in the game, which actually works really well, but unfortunately the cooldown on the sprint ability is the exact length of how long the sprint lasts, so you can literally sprint non-stop. And this is basically the forge, the area that allows you to upgrade your weapons. So you would stick a weapon up here with a scroll, and then it would go through its little thing. The scrolls in the weapon upgrade thing is very weird. There's no guide on it whatsoever that tells you how to do it. And this chick right here sells a crap load of different scrolls, and you can see they start off at 12,000 for a basic scroll, and then it goes up like 100% every time, or more, like significantly more. So that one's like 1,000%, 2,000% more than this one, and then they start over again. So you got 12,000, 120,000, and then 2.4 million. And then there's different ones for strength, ability, health, and all that stuff. And it just keeps going. There's elemental transformation scrolls. I have no idea what those do. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know about in the game that's very strange. And there's just absolutely no guide in the game yet whatsoever that tells you how to do it. So I hope they put something in the game that explains to you like what scroll you're supposed to use based on what weapon you're trying to enchant. Because I did try to enchant some weapons that I found just off mobs and stuff out in the world, and I couldn't figure out which scroll I needed to use to do it with, or even if the scroll existed or not. So that was really weird. So this merchant right now, she sells warrior, rogue, mage, and priest gear. And there's like 2 different tiers of it, and the end tier is basically blue, rare con. But the rare scrolls didn't work for upgrading the rare con, so I'm just very confused about that. And then there's tons of different weapon types, which is really cool. You know, there's daggers for rogues and bows for rogues, basically. A few different weapons for warriors, and priest and mage weapons as well. One thing I want to go over real quick, guys, is the classes in this game are far from being balanced. Basically, if you don't play a rogue, this is just what I've seen, guys. The rogue class is completely broken compared to all the other classes. Using a bow, a 2-handed bow in the game, gives you just such a severe advantage over everyone else. It literally does I would say close to between 3 times to 10 times more damage than any of the other classes. And you will see just an entire group of rogues with bows equipped that will party up, and they will never even have a mob that will do damage to them, because one rogue can kill any mob by themselves before it ever reaches them. And when you get a whole group of rogues with like one healer, no one else can in the whole area can even hit a mob, let alone get a kill on one to get their quest done. And I've grouped with quite a few different rogues. That's one thing about this game. People will just invite you immediately, and when they come into your area, to group with you, which is nice on one hand, but on the other hand, when they don't invite you and you're like a warrior, a priest, or a mage, it's almost impossible to do more damage than the rogues do to actually get quest credit for anything, which is really, really frustrating. If they don't nerf the rogue class or buff the other classes to be as good as the rogue, I don't see any reason whatsoever to play any of the other classes in the game. You might as well just take them out of the game because they're pretty much pointless from what I've seen so far, which makes me really sad as a warrior class. So that's gonna basically do it for today, guys. The only other thing I can kind of show you is some of the other areas, some of the stuff that they have in the game. Whoops, that's got kind of clipped out there. So this is where we were in Greenmoor. The swamp is a much lower level area, not really worth showing you. And then there's a level 50 through 70 area I can't go to yet because I'm level 34. I might be able to get into this area just to show you around, but I don't think that there's any monsters in this area yet, or last time I went here I got disconnected so I couldn't see it. I don't remember exactly. We'll try it again real quick. So as you can see, aesthetically wise, the game's just really pretty. Can I pull out my mount here? Yes. So we'll go try to take a look around. There's a teleporter to get back where I was right there. There's like almost like a palace maybe over there? I'm not sure. Whatever this place is, it's just gigantic. It looks like beautiful open world, but if I hit the M button, it is only so big. So where's my character at right now? I can't really see where my character is on the map here. So this area and this map is probably still under development, so I'm not going to travel too far, but just give you guys a look around. It's really pretty looking. It doesn't look like there's... Yep. So there I go. I got disconnected. Alright guys, so that's basically Rise Online in a nutshell. I've been playing for 2 or 3 days, on and off a little bit here and there to get to level 34. It's been very grindy. It is like a very grindy game like Lineage 2. I do like the loot system. The mobs will just drop randomly like a +8 weapon. It's very rare for it to happen, but that's how I got like my +7 and +8 weapons, because I was just killing something and randomly it dropped and I was like, yes, major score. So I was like really happy about that. I love how you can just randomly be hunting something and get like a really good weapon out of it. You don't have to like do this stupid like bang your head up against the wall. How am I ever gonna get one of these cool +7 or +8 weapons? So that's really cool aspect of the game. I actually really like grindy games like this where you can just go grind, you know, get a few levels and get some drops that are actually going to help you out, and get some drops that maybe you can go back to town and set up a little personal store and get a couple, like 100,000 extra gold out of a really good piece of gear like that. There's a lot of people doing that right now. I remember another game, obviously, I'll talk about Lineage 2 again real quick, that had that same aspect in the game where you could set up like your own little personal store and sell things yourself. And then much later on they added in like an auction house type setting that took like a percentage of your sale out of you could pay up front to put the thing on the auction house, which I don't really have anything against that system either. But I do think the aspect of setting up your character when you go offline to sell something is kind of a cool feature and lets you interact with the populace of the game pretty nicely. I didn't see like a huge English speaking community in the game. I did actually talk to one individual that I think they were just bilingual, so they spoke Turkish and English. I can't be 100% sure about that obviously, but I'm pretty sure most of the population in the game is Turkish, so that I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Excuse my ignorance on that one. But yeah, so there are English speaking people in the game, which is cool, but you might have to search around a little bit to find somebody. Other than that, guys, I actually really like the game, even though it has its funky little quirks and stuff. And like the skills and the abilities in the game, like my two biggest issues I had so far were the skills don't do what they say they're going to do. The other major issue I had was the rogue class just being completely broken. I just don't see a reason to play any of the other classes except for the priest, who can heal and debuff things. But then, you know, I did level a healer up to around level 15 or 20. Besides healing people, there's absolutely no reason to actually play the priest class yet, because they had flaws and things with their skills as well where they didn't work like they said they were going to. So yeah, I hope they continue what they're doing. They have a really nice game, really aesthetically pleasing, really fun to play. But like I said, the skills and the rogue class and the bow in particularly really need either to buff the other classes to equal the bow or nerf the bow so it's not as broken as it is. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button for me to like the video. I'm trying to grow my channel. I really appreciate your guys' comments as well. Let me know what you think of the video. That's going to do it for today. My name's Roger. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care of yourself, everyone.